Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Dawn here. So today I'm with you with another make from Beebee Crafts. And this time I thought we'd use the pearl beads and we'd make a couple of bracelets. So yeah, I used to make these all of the time and I don't even know why I stopped making them. Well, I think it's because I got into other crafts, to tell you the truth, but I love these type of bracelets. And all you need, it's very basic materials, so you just need some eye pins. So I've got a few here. You need some jump rings, and then you need a choice of clasp. So I've got a lobster claw clasp with an extender chain, or you can use a toggle clasp. So it's entirely up to you which clasp you want to use. But basically all we're going to do is we're just going to string these together. And I just think these they just look absolutely gorgeous. So I'm thinking, what colour should we go for? I'm liking these three here, sorry, four, or maybe those four. Should we do the green? Right, do you know what, let's do the green because it's not a colour that I would normally go for. So I'm just going to pop on one white bead, one light green, one dark green, and one like olive colour, and then one dark green. So that's what I've got on. Now I'm wondering, can we fit some more on, because this is a 5 centimetre one, because what I was thinking is this could be our centerpiece, so we have all the colours on. So just like that, yeah, we can just, so this is going to be the bar that just sits over the edge, so I'm just going to put a loop on that. So all I'm going to do is, as you can see, I've got it at the end, and we're just going to twist that into a loop and then bend it back and then close that loop, and then you have your first loop. So this is going to be the center of our bracelet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to build up the rest of our bracelet. So I'm going to go with one white bead, and just get my trimmers, not my trimmers, what are they called? Cutting pliers. Let me just bring you in. So I need to move this out of the way just so I know whereabouts I need to work. Okay. So I've cut it so that it's about 1 centimetre, or about the width of your thumb. And what we're going to do is we're just going to twist it. Now there's a couple of ways that you can do it. Oh, look at my pliers, I don't know if you can see. But they're just, yeah, they sort of come out, which sometimes happens. There, much better. Right, okay. So there's a couple of ways that you can do it. So once you have your bead on, and you've cut it down, so when you first taught to do it, you taught to break the neck, so you just bend it at a 90-degree angle, just like that. Then you grab your pliers and you put it right at the end, about halfway down your pliers, so just like that, and then you twist it until it forms a loop. So just like that. So that's your first bead. Now what I tend to do, so I'm just going to grab the next colour, which is this lighter green, and let's pop that on. So I'm just going to trim it again, trim it 1 centimetre. So what I tend to do is I tend to do my loop first, so about halfway down, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to twist. Then when I get to this point, then I break my neck. So I normally just put my nail there and then I just bend backwards. That gives me just a little opening so I can attach my bead. So let's put the bead on, and then I close it, and that's how I find it to be more comfortable. And there's our little connection. So I am going to use these bits that I've cut off, just because, you know, we don't like to waste. So I'm going to just go halfway down on the pliers and make a loop. So just like that. So there's my loop, and as you can see, it's not very straight. So we just come in and we just bend that so that it's in the middle, and then we've got ourselves a little eye pin from our waist, so we're not really wasting much. And then I'm going to get this olive colour green, and as you can see, it's a little bit too much there. I tend to just put my thumb and my finger together, and then that gives me where it needs to be trimmed. So again, it's about 1 centimetre. And then halfway down again, we're just going to do a loop. I broke its neck, which sounds really bad, doesn't it? And then I'm going to just thread that on, and then we're just going to close that up. And there you have our 3 pieces. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep on doing that. So this is another spare bit that came off one. So just going to turn this into a eye pin again. I'm coming in with our darkest colour. So just like that. Now when you're doing a bracelet, you want your bracelet, the beaded area of your bracelet needs to be 1 inch smaller than the size you are wanting, because you need to account for your clasp. Your clasp normally takes up about 1 inch. So just so that you are aware of that. Because like I say, if you did your beaded area, say your wrist was 7.5 inches and you did your beaded area, I'm liking that, you did the beaded area, if you made it so that it was 7.5 inches, by the time you add your clasp on, it's then gonna bring you to 8.5 inches, so it's going to end up being too big. So that's something to sort of be aware of. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to connect this white one. So we're just going to open it up. Now when you open it up, you want to do it so that it's to the side. You don't want to pull it outwards, because you are going to weaken the metal. So try and do it sideways if you can. So I've just added that on. So I know now that this goes to just under 4 inches. So I'm going to do the other side, and we're just going to do the same pattern as what we've got there, and then we're going to measure it, and then we can start adding beads on either side until it is the length that we want. So I need the white beads. So let's pop that in there. So there it is. And then I'm going to just trim that. Don't get rid of this bit because we can use it. And then I'm just going to put a nice loop in. And we're going to add that on there. Like that. Right, let me move my ruler out of the way so that it doesn't get any distraction. And then using, so really from each eye pin I'm getting 2 bead connections, which I think is awesome. I love it when I can sort of use every little bit and we're not wasting that much. So it always makes you feel so much better, doesn't it? Right, so just going to add that. So we're just going to do a loop, and then we are going to add that onto our bracelet and close that up. So there's that. We've got 2 more colours left to do, so let's do them. I'm hoping I'm on screen a lot more than I'm off screen, because yeah, I've only got a tiny space in which to work in. So I'm hoping that when I'm doing this, I'm not going off. So I'm trying to look in the camera as well as, yeah, as well as down at my work. So if I do go off camera, then I do apologise. Okay, so there's that one. Then we've got this little piece left, to which we are going to turn into an eye pin. So just like that. And then we want the darker colour. So let's put that on. Now you can do any pattern you want. You could have this all the same colour if you would like. I mean, on this bit you could even have a charm that dangles, which I think would be really, really nice as well. So let's add that on. Right, now that we've done this, I'm then going to bring back my ruler. So I know I want this 6.5, so I know you can't see the first bit, but I've measured it up. So we are short by just under an inch. So I reckon one more bead on each side. So what I'm going to do is this colour here, I'm going to put on this side. So let's get, and then we'll measure it there. So let's get a bead and let's trim it. Again, we're trimming it about 1 centimetre, and then we are just going to put in a loop and then break its neck. So it's a good thing to remember to break the neck, because you can just, I mean, you can just leave it, but if you want a nice tidy loop like the ones that you get on the end of your eye pins, then definitely just breaking that neck really does make a difference. Okay, so I'm just going to add that on, and then we're just going to close that up. So as you can see, I mean, that's now a really neat loop on there. It just takes practice, so it really does take practice to get those loops right, but you know, once you've got them, yeah, you don't lose it. Okay, so turning this bit into a into an eye pin, then just going to grab the same colour bead and pop that on. Again, just going to cut this down because it is a bit too big. And then we're just going to turn that into a loop, break its neck, and then we're just going to add that on and close it up. So there we have it. So that's our bracelet. So now we'll bring it back in again and let's measure. So as you can see, that is now 6.5 inches. So that is perfect for this bracelet, because I like to have a 7.5 inch bracelet, so it sort of sits like that. And as you can see, I've got plenty of room for a clasp, but it'll give it a bit of wiggle room as well. Now what we're going to do to add the clasp on is I have a jump ring here. Ideally you want 2 pairs of pliers, but I prefer to use my hands and my nails. It's why I never have any nails. I don't know if you can see. But I'm starting to get like a little groove there. I always have that groove when I've done jewellery making. So yeah, because I don't use 2 pairs of pliers. So ideally you want to use 2 pair of pliers. When you open your jump ring, you want to open it backwards and forwards instead of side to side. If you do it side to side, it will weaken the metal and it will break. Now on this one, I am going to pop on a toggle clasp. So we're just going to connect that to here, and then we're just going to close that up like that. So there's one side of our clasp. Then we're just going to come back to this side and get the bar. Now I find with the bar side, I like to have an extra jump ring, just because you've got that wiggle room. So I'm just going to put our first jump ring on. And when you close them as well, you want them to be really snugly fit. So move them backwards and forwards so that they're quite secure. So another jump ring, and then I'm going to put that bar on. And all that does is just give you a little bit of extra room for when you close up your bracelet. Okay, so that is nice and snug. If it isn't, you just move it backwards and forwards and slowly move it together. So that is our bracelet. Let me just zoom out. Oh, wrong way. Come on. There we go. So, and then just like this, hopefully I can do this one-handed. But but as you can see, by putting that extra jump ring on, it just gives you that little bit of extra wiggle room. But there you have it. There is our bracelet. How gorgeous is that? I prefer them not to be too slack because I don't like them sort of hitting everything. But yeah, so like I say, you can also add on a charm if you wanted. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you think. See if you like it. But yeah, I love it. I think it's gorgeous. Not a colour I would go for, but do you know, I think I'm going to wear that quite a bit because it is absolutely beautiful. And the good thing is, because Beebee Crafts was so kind and sent me these items, I get to make a lot more as well. I will leave all links in the description box below, so do check that out. And they also have a YouTube program, so don't forget to check that out as well. So I think you need to have over 100 subscribers, but yeah, definitely check that out. But there you go. How gorgeous is that? So that is my make for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again in another video. But yeah, chuffed a bit of that. But thank you for watching, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.